Okay, mics are up. Okay. Good morning, everybody. We have Nebraska head coach Fred Hoiberg here. I'll wait till everyone pops in. So, okay. I'll start with questions. I'll lead off today with Chris Basnet.
Hey, Fred, have you or did you ever reach out to Coach Izzo or even to Jack just to kind of see how they handled their pause and what they kind of did to kind of come off that and get ready to play again?
Well, I talked more to Coach Izzo about how he dealt with the virus and how it affected him in coaching, and I talk to Jack every day, and just about how more things are going for him, but I just look at what Michigan State kind of went through in a similar type situation that we're about to go through, playing a lot of games in a short amount of time. And for Michigan State, after their shutdown, they played 3 road games right out of the chute against 3 really good teams. And I saw them progressively get better with each performance. That Rutgers game was a tough one for them. They played much better at Ohio State, and I thought they were terrific against Iowa, especially with their start, and they really shot the ball well after struggling to shoot it those first couple games, which in talking to Jack about that, he said, you'll see, because, it's been the same thing for us right now, just with guys losing their legs and, they got shin splints and, just all kinds of body aches going on, just getting back into a flow. So he said, you'll see, your shots will start falling as you continue to go along. But, with Michigan State, finally getting an opportunity to come home after 3 road games and, like I said, getting better with each performance, we know it's going to be, a heck of a battle for us to go in with our first game after a lot of time off. And I've seen it, with other teams that have gone through shutdowns. I'm not sure any have gone through as long of inactivity as we have. It's going to take a while to get it back. In those first couple games, there's struggles involved, and I get it, and I'm realistic about it. I do think we'll go out and compete. We have to do a better job early of getting back and taking away their fast break. That's where they thrive. Did a phenomenal job rebounding the ball in the first half. We only gave them 1 offensive rebound, and they got 8 in the second, including a couple huge ones late. Langford, when it was a 2-possession game, got the big one with 45 seconds left to push it up to 3 possessions, and it was over from there. But those are huge. Now we have to take care of the ball better. We gave them 18 extra possessions, 18 turnovers. And that's something else I've seen teams struggle with. So we've really been stressing simple plays, making the right play, trying to get a shot up on the board every time.
Sam McEwen.
Hey, Coach. Would this be the first game of the season? I know it's an odd circumstance, but will this be the first game of the season when you'll have every player available? And how much will you appreciate having a full front court at your disposal with all those guys?
Yeah, it will be the first time. And, I told him I'm going to play him in short bursts, and not just our bigs, everybody, because I know, early on they're going to get winded pretty quickly. So it's about getting them out, hopefully getting a second wind at some point during the game. But I know early it's going to be 2 or 3 times up and down the floor, and they're going to be tired. So we're going to have to shuffle guys in and out. It is great to have the full roster available. We just got 2 of them back yesterday for when they were cleared for full activity. So, those guys, I got to be a little bit careful with them, as far as how many minutes I'm going to play them. But, this thing's been crazy, Sam. And, we just have to go out and really monitor the bodies. Like I said, we've got guys sore. It's like almost beginning a training camp. But when you start training camp, you at least have a base and a foundation. With all the inactivity we've had, our guys really are feeling it right now. It's been a lot of time in the ice tub. We did not go long today. We went really hard earlier in the week, but I had to back off just to try and get their legs right and get their minds right heading into this stretch. Not only thinking about tomorrow, but what's ahead. With Minnesota, staying on the road and then coming back. Probably have to take a day off. We still have to by rule, which is a little ridiculous to me with playing 4 games in a week, most weeks, that we can't come in and watch film or come in and shoot or walk through. But it is what it is. And, we just need to look at everything. We're going to have 1 day of prep for Wisconsin, and then we'll travel to Penn State, and then from there we've got tentative of what might happen, and it's going to be very difficult because there's going to be a lot of games in a short amount of time. So I got to look at this thing long term, Sam, for 15 games or 14 games in 31 or 32 days. And, we got to be careful with them because of all the inactivity that we've had.
Are you allowed to practice anywhere in Minnesota, like after the Michigan State game, and then on Sunday, are you allowed to? Or are they going to let you practice somewhere if you want to?
Yeah, we'll practice in the barn. So, and that's great. I think all the Big Ten teams will be very accommodating with everything going on right now, just with, the changes in schedules and, playing a lot of games in a short amount of time. So, I'm thankful Richard has given us the opportunity to practice that day before and, get ready for Monday night.
Thank you.
Robin Washut?
I guess how's Delano coming off that ankle injury? I mean, you said you'll have everybody available. Is he good to go like normal?
Yeah, everything okay there?
My 2000.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, sorry, what was the question? Oh, Delano. Delano's good to go. Yep, he's looking much better. He missed 2 days of practice, then we got him back for some non-contact stuff, and he's been full go here yesterday and again today.
And then one more. A lot of people are asking about managing the workload. Does that involve maybe changing up your pace in which you want to play offensively? I know you mentioned maybe playing more zone on defense, but offensively, do you try to slow things down to try to just manage some of the miles these guys are going to run?
We're still going to try to get the thing up with pace, and if we can have smart attack early in the possession, we'll take it. If not, then we need to get it out and execute. And again, I thought we did a much better job of that in our last game against Indiana, especially as the game went along in the second half. I thought we had really good execution, even on the stretch. I thought we had really good looks. Got fouled a couple times, just didn't convert, obviously. But we'll still look to attack. It's when we're at our best, and if we can. Especially off of misses. If we can get that thing off the rim, we will certainly look to attack as we always do.
Michael Bruns?
Hey, Fred, aside from just the physical part of what you guys are going to face over the next month or so, how much do you have to really alter the mental side of things and manage that stuff with your players? And I guess, is there anything that you could draw on from your past coaching experience, playing career that could help you kind of keep this thing going in the right direction?
Yeah, it's going to be very much like NBA type preparation with playing as many games as we are. It's a true NBA schedule, and it's going to be a lot of mental preparation. And I have talked to several coaches that have been through it, and basically on their off day, it's a film session and a walkthrough and a cleanup. And that's what it's going to be after Michigan State, with as hard as we've gone, early portion of this week with legs being tired, I can only imagine after a full game what they're going to feel like. And, we just have to be careful moving forward with their workloads. And, we'll still get some good quality practice in, especially when we have 2 days leading into it. Or if we take a day off, then we'll practice, get them up and down. I always try to get our teams up and down on after a day off. You have to try to shake rust off and get the timing right. So, we'll still have some of those types of practices, but when it's a true just one game, 1 day prep like we're going to have, especially when you go road to road or if you go home to road, you got to be really cognizant of that and be careful of it. So, yeah, it'll be Minnesota's prep will be basically, walk through film session morning, film session night, get a chance to do it again the next day because of a night game where we'll go a little bit harder on the day of the game. But those in-between days on a one-day prep will be mostly mental.
Jacob Padilla?
Hey, is there any value to opening up with a team that you have seen before after the big break? I guess.
Yeah, I guess, Jacob, the fact that we have seen them, and, it was 2 games ago. I know it felt like a year ago, but, it was one of our last 2 games, and we did some good things in that game. But obviously there were several things that we needed to clean up in order to get over the hump and get the win. But the fact that, we have seen these guys recently, and, it's a team that we've seen them play a lot of games here in a short amount of time in this last week. So, again, it's going to come down to 3 things for us: taking care of the basketball, rebounding the ball, and getting back in transition. And I don't care who you play; those are generally the three keys that you put up on the board. But especially against a Michigan State team that's coming home after 3 tough losses, we're going to have to do those 3 things well and do the basics well to have a chance.
Sam McEwen?
Okay, Fred, this is not related exactly to your moment right now, but it's a broader basketball question. And I know you think about these things, and we're kind of working on something about it. The NET rankings this year have included adjusted efficiency, which is points per possession, defensive points per possession, and it's led to some really interesting rankings embedded within the system. And I'm just curious if you've looked at all at that, or what you think of the addition of that metric to the rankings, which seems to prioritize beating really bad teams by a whole bunch of points versus winning games against really good teams by 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing that is going to get a little bit skewed are you going to keep your starters in there for longer stretches to try to really blow teams out and inflate those efficiency numbers? I don't think it's right, but that's reality. You're going to have to, if it's going to come down to 1 or 2 percentage points at the end, is it a game that you were playing against a bad team, to get your offensive rating higher and get that defensive rating lower and create that nice gap that you need to have to be one of the top teams. But yeah, I mean, I don't love it, because guys that probably need an opportunity to get in there, deserve an opportunity to get in there, may not get that chance because you're trying to inflate your numbers. So yeah, I don't know, Sam. It's just it is what it is. I mean, nothing you can do about it. But there are teams that would think about doing it that way. I hopefully when we get to that point, would like to think that I'm not going to go out there and do that, because you don't want to embarrass people in this business, because you know how bad it feels when you're on the other end.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. We'll go to Robin Washington.
This is kind of random, but considering the fact that you guys have so many positive cases already, are you still required to do the daily testing? And has anything changed with your daily protocols as far as handling COVID since all this happened?
Yeah, so if you get it, then you don't, you don't test for 90 days. So you have a 90-day window to where you don't test. And I just saw some recent studies that say those antibodies now stay in your system for up to 6 months. As far as how that affects and does it protect you against the new strains, I don't know that. We're still being careful. We're still wearing our masks at all times during practices, all the coaches. One thing that we will not have, I meant to mention this earlier, I'm not going to travel Doc and Bobby just because, the importance of trying to keep everybody healthy and, minimize the risk as much as possible. So I just told Doc, don't watch The Bachelor on Monday. Make sure he watches the game, and then he and Bobby will send their thoughts. And at each time out, I'll have the guy they're sending to come up and tell me, exactly what they're thinking. But right now, it's not worth it to me to have extra risk involved with guys, that are in the at-risk categories. So, just to be safe, I'm having those guys come in right before practice, and generally they leave right when practice is over, again, to mitigate that risk. So we will be down, 2 very important parts of our staff.
Do you have someone else on your bench that then gets to be elevated to assistant coach?
Yeah, we'll have guys move up. But as far as, they can certainly offer their thoughts. They can offer thoughts, when those guys aren't there. But as far as teaching on the floor, no, it'll basically be Coach Gates and myself that will do the walkthrough tomorrow, and then the practice and walkthrough in Minnesota.
Thank you.
I think that will conclude our session for today. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.